More on Cloud9's win.
All right, thanks, Riv. We're joined by Hai, who's just come out of an exciting third game. Now, you guys, that's the third slugfest you've had with LMQ. The first thing I'd like to ask you is, what is it about that matchup that always makes it so contentious?
Well, I got destroyed that game, like, more than anything in the world. Like, I really hate TF into Syndra if they have, like, a jungler that can, like, tower dive you, like a Jarvan or, like, a Lee Sin. I can't live. I don't know. Maybe I suck, but whatever. They like doing aggressive things. They like trying to control the early game, and all 3 games against them, they've basically had the early game against us, and that makes the game very hard for us to control just because they have control of mid and the jungle just because I got pooped on. So that makes the games hard when they have control of the game.
So coming into that, do you guys just pick champions that scale a little better? Like, what's it like coming into champions like versus LMQ?
Right. So when we had that team comp, we knew that we would scale well, and our early game is a little bit lackluster because we have TF and Mundo. While they're okay, they're not the strongest. So we had to survive and get to that end game where they can't kill Mundo. So we fell behind more than we should have, but we got to the end game like we wanted to. And what did they do to the Mundo? He had like, what, 4,000, 5,000 health? I don't know.
Yeah.
With like 300-something MR with no Void Staff. Who's going to kill him?
Absolutely. Well, so that being said, the point about the Mundo, was that a call that was made after that initial level 1 engagement where the flash was blown on Lulu? Hey, we're going to look top for an initial gank, get that Mundo rolling?
Well, I have 3 more games this weekend. Hopefully they didn't see that, but yeah, it's a thing that's like doable just because he's like the most obnoxious level 1 champion. He's kind of like an Ezreal, but he slows you as well. So with everyone doing a split, that's pretty good to do, and I guess since people saw it, it's not really hidden anymore. But yeah. It's kind of cheesy, but it worked.
Yeah, and you guys actually have a really good team fight presence that game. And LMQ is known for their team fight. And we're going to get a replay here, and I want you to walk me through this. It's the second dragon of the game where you guys end up walking away on top.
All right, so this went really well for us because Balls and Sneaky were hitting a lot of poke before the fight, and so was I. We get the kill on Jarvan, and I believe later on I teleport in and Suicide. But we get a good team fight just because no one can kill Mundo, and we get a lot of poke off. We kill Ackerman, and then no one can still kill Balls. And he ultimates and he heals for full. And I'm pretty sure I Suicide, which I shouldn't be doing, but we get Dragon off this, and we only won that fight because we got to poke him before the fight. Had we not been in Dragon before it spawned, and we didn't poke him, they would have taken Dragon, probably snowballed that game from there. So the fact that we were set up for there and got the poke off, that got us to Dragon.
Yeah, one of the things I want to point out there is the fact that you guys hadn't quite hit the same item thresholds that they had. There was a DFG on Syndra already, and there was a completed Triforce on the Corki as opposed to Sneaky only having the Phage and the Sheen. So it just speaks to the positioning and the team fighting prowess of your team. Now, moving on further into the game, around 19 minutes, there was an interesting decision made as LMQ kind of pushed down the bottom lane, and we watched Mundo take and trade 1 turret for both an inner turret and an inhib turret. What was the thought process that went into that call?
So we were trying to bluff them and see if they'd actually go for the inhibitor or not, because we were pushing top and middle at the same time. But they kind of took our bluff and pushed the inhibitor, and we kind of got punished for that. We didn't make it in time. We lost that turret, but that was just a bad call, honestly, from me. So yeah.
Well, there was a great call later on in the game. I'm going to get another replay up on your screen. It's the ace when that bottom inhibitor was taken and we have super minions pushing into the base. What happens here, Hai? Walk me through this.
Okay, so I believe I saw Corki and Lulu top, so I'm calling, hey, let's jump on this. And I have Banshee's Veil, so I don't instantly die in this team fight, which is amazing. So we flank them from 3 different sides. Their priority target is Wei Zhao, and we kill him at the start of the fight. So no one can kill Kog'Maw at this point in time. He's the strongest member on our team by far with Mundo, and the fact that no one can kill him, he just gets free reign over everyone just because Syndra was in a bad position and doesn't have Hourglass. She built full damage, and she gets punished for that. Whereas I went 2 defensive items like right away, so...
Right, so coming out of a fight like that, right, where I guess you were behind maybe about 2K gold, but winning a giant team fight like that, knowing that you're a late game scaling team, how does the mindset change? As the leader of the team, what is it that you say to take control of the game? Hey, we're going to win this. We're going to take advantage of it.
Well, when we won that team fight dominantly, we obviously knew, hey, we're really strong right now, and we got that free dragon afterwards. At that point in time, I knew Balls was like a god. I knew Sneaky can't die. He didn't even burn flash that fight, and Syndra did. So the next time the team fight happens, I'm going to port on Syndra, and whether I die for her or not, she's going to die, and no one's going to kill Kog'Maw, and we should win the next team fight. So off of that, we knew the next fight would be the endgaming, or the last fight of the game.
All right, and final question here for you, Hai. Great game today, and later on you guys have CLG today. How are you guys preparing for that matchup?
So they play the next game, I believe, so we'll be able to watch what they do. and hopefully I don't feed as hard as I do this game, because that'd make the game much better. But yeah, that's my game plan, not to feed, so my team doesn't have to carry me as hard.
No, that's not a bad game plan. Again, thank you so much for the insight. Good luck in your game later today. Now, don't go anywhere because we've still got more games coming your way. After the break, it's back into the action with Complexity versus CLG. Keep that browser where it's at.